Enterprise Stories is the weekly radio program that shares the experiences of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs and provides expert analysis of their success factors. Enterprise Stories, business stories of success.
Welcome to Enterprise Stories. In this episode, we will share the story of a lawyer turned event planning manager. And in the teaching segment, we will conclude the strategic planning process topic. Stay tuned.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Good evening, listeners. My name is Bayo Rotimi, your faculty on today's edition of Enterprise Stories. Today we'll be bringing the concluding part of our teaching on the strategic planning process. Today we would like to look at three critical components of the planning process. The first one is strategy formulation, the second one is strategy implementation, and the third one will be the evaluation and the management or measurement processes. First and foremost, over the last two editions, we looked at the mission and objectives of the business, and we looked at the environment in which that business intends to operate. Today, the aggregation of those two will help you develop what we call a winning strategy. Now, the strategy, like I said, will incorporate all of the outcomes of your environmental scan, as well as your own clarity in terms of your objectives and the direction of your business. In determining or in formulating a strategy on the back of this analysis you have done, you will then be able to articulate what your business stands for, right? And what problem or challenge or lack it seeks to remedy. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to develop a document that can help you do a variety of things. First of all, it will help you in terms of achieving the objectives you have set for yourself. Ultimately, that strategy will help you when it comes to raising capital to expand your business, and that capital can come either in the form of equity or it can come in form of debt from financial institutions and so on and so forth. It is the quality and the strength of the strategy that will ultimately determine whether you will run or build a successful business or not. So the strategy must be right. It must take into consideration all of the challenges with regard to competition. Because again, you must remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you are not operating in isolation. There are probably numerous businesses doing the exact same thing or something similar to what you're doing, which means that you have to find a way of differentiating yourself from the rest of the pack. Now, typically, the differentiation can come either in the form of your pricing or in the form of a differentiation in the specific product or service you offer, which means that you must be able to show and demonstrate a unique point of view. There must be something uniquely different about your product. Even if it is something as basic as packaging, it is all part of the differentiation, and that is a critical part of the strategy formulation. Your strategy must put you one step ahead of the competition. The second point, ladies and gentlemen, is the implementation. It is all well and good to have a wonderful strategy on paper, but if you are unable to deliver on the implementation, then the strategy is really a waste of your precious time. So it is important that you come up with implementation milestones. You attach timelines to it, and you make sure you do everything possible to deliver on the timelines or to implement the strategy to the letter. So it's always critical. Implementation has always been a major source of challenge for most businesses. So you need to try to implement to the letter the strategy you have devised. And finally, there must be a way of measuring on a quantitative basis the implementation milestones. So if you say that you want to grow revenues by 50% between one year and the other, there must be a clear quantitative manner in which you can measure this. You should not leave it to subjectivity, so that anything that is able to be measured, as they say, most likely you'll be able to implement. So you need to come up with clearly defined parameters for measurement. You need to be able to determine what are the key drivers of your business, and you must be able to ensure that on a continuous basis you are reviewing. Evaluation may also help you when there is a need to alter your strategy as a result of changes in the operating environment. So it is always important to review that which you have decided to do. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you once again for your attention, and I look forward to being with you in the future sometime. Thank you.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME0COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get 0 COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME0COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Welcome, listeners, to the Story of the Day segment. And with us in the studio today is the CEO of Sapphire Events, Mrs. Funke Bucknor Obruthe. Welcome to Enterprise Stories.
Thank you.
Okay, tell us a bit about Sapphire Events.
Okay, Sapphire Events is an event management company, consulting, advisory, and we plan all kinds of events, from corporate to socials, to parties, to industry events, and we organize events. And we also, of course, consult and provide hostesses, and we also have a decor company where we decorate, and so that's basically what Sapphire does. Sapphire.
I mean, everywhere you go, you hear about Sapphire, and I'm sure my listeners are wondering, how exactly did Sapphire come about? How did you start, or how did you even come about the name Sapphire?
Oh, well, okay. Well, someone has said today that I'm an accidental event planner, and I would say really maybe. The thing about Sapphire was I mean, I'd always loved planning events. I didn't really know what it was because it didn't really exist in Nigeria at the time I started. It was only maybe one other person that was like an event manager. And I just knew that I loved organizing events. I always wanted to help people organize an event, put it together, and just make sure that the event went very well. And also because I would say that maybe because of the way I am, I'm a bit hyperactive. I don't like to stay in one place. So I always wanted to put things together. So I said, you know what, I was going to organize events. I just helped one of my friends who was getting married. Another friend was getting married. I helped her. And that was just how it started. And everybody just started saying, oh, Funke, come and help me. Funke, come and do my wedding. And then people started paying me for this. And then, of course, and I thought, what name will I call this? And one day I was just on the internet and I was searching and I saw Sapphire the stone. And I said, you know what, I can change the S to Z. And that would give me Sapphire Events, and that's how it was, because it was going to be different. Nobody would do that or think of it. So that's how Sapphire Events started.
Fantastic. So, I mean, how many years ago did you start Sapphire Events?
Wow, 12 years ago. I mean, I'm like, when I think about it, I was like, oh, I was such a baby then. Like about 12 years ago was when Sapphire started, and started at a time when event planning didn't exist in Nigeria. There was just, like, as I said, one other person, and it was a bit tough, but yeah, about 12 years ago is when Sapphire started.
Yes, and of course, people make it happen. I know that right now you have about 15 staff. How has it been managing your staff and getting them to buy into your vision and being able to maintain the creativity at every event that you are organizing?
Well, I think one of the things, which is also something that I also learned, at EDC as well, was about this: people make it happen. You need the right people to fit into the right place for you to be able to succeed in business. I started by myself. I was the only one running around, but along the way I found people. I had a manager who was my admin manager, operations manager, head coordinator for about 7 years. She just left last year. She was with me for 7 years, and she was someone that was very good. And of course, right now I have so many good staff, people that are very, very hardworking, people that are very intelligent. I have them from all over, people that have just graduated from England that are working with us, people that graduated from Nigeria, people say graduates right now, are a bit funny. Yes, but I think you need to train people. You need to tell them what to expect. If you don't let people know what is the vision in your company, people cannot fit into the vision. So we always make it a point of duty to always let people know that our vision is about excellence, professionalism, creativity. And people get into the core values of that. And every day we imbibe it. It's not easy. It's not like as if it's a bed of roses, every day, it's so exciting. But even today, I got a call from a client that said to me, Funke, your staff at our event on Saturday were fantastic. You were not there, but they were great. They were awesome. They were wonderful. You've trained them well. You've done a good job. For me, that's the rewarding part.
Yes, I believe I've also sent a comment to you about one of your staff before at an event.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Now, let's talk a bit about money. We all run businesses to be profitable, and for 12 years you've been running your business. Have you had any cost to go to the financial institutions to lend money to run your business? And how profitable has events management business been for you?
Well, profitable, I would say yes, it's been good, because for me to still be in business, there must be some form of profitability for me to be able to pay the staff. And of course, run a business. We moved from our office. We're in Olaw.ale before, we moved to Yaba now, a bigger space. We're trying to do a lot of things. I haven't had cost to actually go to the financial institutions to raise funds, because then we didn't need it at that time. But right now, because we're doing a lot of new things that we really need, investments. So definitely, even the banks, everybody's like really talking to us and saying, what do we need to do? At that time, when you talk to the bank, they'll tell you, Funke, don't worry, you don't really need anything. But now they're calling us and saying, hey, how can we help you? What do you need from us? Big banks that never used to give us the time of the day. But because we have a lot of big projects that we want to do right now, for us being in the business for so long, and also because of the way we want to go, the direction we're trying to go, so we need the funds from the financial institutions now.
Okay. Looking at the future for Sapphire and some of the big projects you're talking about, tell us a bit about the future for Sapphire events. What are the new frontiers that you will be venturing?
Okay. Now, the thing about it is, because we've been in business for so long, and being in business for a long time, you always have to sustain, you always have to reinvent yourself. For you to be able to innovate, for you to be existing, you need to innovate. You need to keep on doing something new, something different. And for example, one of the things that we started with was, of course, I wrote the bridal handbook, which was kind of like the first in Nigeria at that time. We thought we needed to innovate ourselves and do something different. But right now, Sapphire, a lot of things that are event related are things that Sapphire is doing, big projects, things, venues. We're managing venues where we own our own lighting system, we own our own, everything that you can imagine that has to do with an event, from everything. Just imagine everything from the venues to the service providers to all the people that provide different services. Sapphire is actually practically organizing those things and having those things as as a stake. And then also, because it's been a while, we've been in business, because we realize that creativity is the main thing. If you're not creative in the industry, you're gonna die, as far as I'm concerned. So creativity is very key. So our creative the creative part of the business is something that we're paying very big attention to. So watch out for a lot of things. Watch out for big things this year from Sapphire. Yes.
Big things from Sapphire events.
Yes.
in this year.
Yes.
Okay. In closing, I do know that in Nigeria today there are many event management business, and a lot of women easily veer into this kind of business. How do you remain competitive?
Oh, wow. Being really competitive. I think that because I also surround myself with a lot of people that encourage me, a lot of mentors. I have people that I can talk to that always give me advice and always tell us this is the next thing, this is the next way to go. And realizing that, you know what, you need to reinvent yourself. You need to do something differently. How do you even your hostesses, how do they stand? How are they at your event? How different are they? You know, everything, you must reinvent yourself. The way you were 5 years ago, you cannot be the same way now. So even for your events, how different is your event from the next one? When people come to your event, they can tell and say, you know what, Sapphire planned this. So it's really being relevant, still being consistent with the service delivery. I always tell people you must be consistent. Even if the money is not there or you're not making as much as you think you should, do not let the service delivery go down. You must make sure that the service delivery is top quality, top notch, excellent. For me, I think that's one of the things that makes us competitive, and people keep on saying that, you know what, Sapphire is a company that we can always go to because they don't compromise on their service delivery. So for people that are about to start their business, or people that are even in event planning right now, I would say to people, do not compromise. Don't think that, because someone has paid you a little amount of money, which is what you agreed with the person, you must deliver the same level of standard. Even there are times you will make mistakes. People make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I mean, I make them every day, you know. But the thing about it is, how do you correct yourself? How do you make sure that you don't do it again? How do you make sure that the next challenge you face is not what you faced before? So for me, it's just to let people know that, you know what, still remain focused, remain relevant. Just let people know that you are the best in your field. Try as much as possible not to just compromise on your standard, and be very diligent, be very deliberate, even in the way you provide your services. For me, I found that very that's one of the things that we had to do. And a lot of people think, it's such a glamorous life. I don't really sleep. I don't really sleep. I wish I could just sleep, and just not go to work. But I don't really sleep because I'm always thinking, how do we make it better? How do we get to the next level? How do we make sure that we deliver this service, really?
Oh, fantastic. As Funke is talking, I can feel the passion. The passion for which she has for Sapphire events and satisfying her customers. But before you go, I would like you to share very quickly in a few words a message to young people and people that are thinking of venturing into events management business. Okay,
to all the young people out there, I think I'm one of you guys. I would just say that, you know what, start small. A lot of people want to start big. Start small and then you grow and you become big. People didn't start. A lot of people see people now and think, they just started and they're now big. No, people work their way upwards, and people started from I remember I would sleep at venues. I would sleep on the floor at event venues just to make sure that an event was done properly. So start small. Get people. Make sure that you have people around you that can mentor you. Talk to people. Talk to experts in event planning field. If possible, go and intern in an event planning company. I do a lot of internship. I do a lot of training because I always feel that people need to get it right. If they're going to be event managers out there, then they must get it right. And we must teach them how to get it right. So be focused, be diligent, be disciplined, be hardworking. Do not think that it's just going to come easy. Nothing comes easy. Life is very challenging and life is not fair. But you know what? You not just need to keep on striving and making sure that you want to get it better. That's just what I would say.
Thank you, Funke. Listeners, you've heard it. Be focused, be hardworking, be diligent, start small and go big. We'll be right back after this short message.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Bayo, you've heard the story of the day. What's your take?
Thank you, Wale. I have listened attentively to the interview with Funke Bucknor Obruthe, I'm indeed very impressed with the giant strides that she has made. Running a business for a period of 12 years in an environment as challenging as Nigeria must be commended indeed. And there was something that came out consistently all through her interview, and that was the passion she had for that which she was doing. And I think this is a great lesson for everybody who seeks to establish and indeed build a sustainable business. First and foremost, you must be completely and totally sold out on that which you want to do. Funke started a business at a time when events management was not really known in this our environment, and yet she decided to take a chance and take that which was a passion which she had almost been doing free of charge for friends and family, and decided to create a business out of it. So a couple of lessons in here for entrepreneurs. Number one, you have to have a staying power. To be in business for 12 years is a huge accomplishment. You need to be bold, you need to be innovative, you need to be willing to chart a new course. So you must not necessarily follow the well-trodden path. Sometimes you may be called upon to be the innovator or to help open up a new segment of the Nigerian economy. So it is important that you have a clearly defined point of view. Another thing that was interesting about Funke's business is she talked about a subsidiary company that focuses on decoration. Now, the interesting thing and the lesson for most businesses here is you need to have multiple streams of revenue, albeit complementary. So I will say keep your focus, stick to your primary business, but within that primary calling, there are several lines of income that you can explore. So decoration is an integral part of the events management operation, and she's decided to set up a dedicated subsidiary company providing that service. And I think that is a lesson for a lot of businesses. Look for ways of diversifying your revenue streams, and like I said earlier, focus on complementary businesses. Another thing that Funke mentioned, which was critical, was the careful attention she paid to human resource. She talked about training. She talked about almost an indoctrination. So everybody joining Zafire joined and was exposed to the vision and the core values of the company. It is very important that your employees know what direction your business is headed so that they can assist you in that direction. She also built, in terms of finances, the first and the critical thing is build a successful business, build a track record, and subsequently the providers of financing will start chasing after you. She is now in the unique position where she can pretty much pick and choose what type of financing she wants and from which entity. Regarding the future, and I think in summary, the general lesson is you must be willing to redefine yourself on a continuous basis. You either innovate as a business person or you pretty much run the risk of extinction. So creativity, passion, innovation, a clearly defined vision are critical success factors. I thank you very much for your attention.
Listeners, you've heard it. It's important to redefine your business on a continuous basis to stand out from the pack. Creativity, passion, innovation, and a clear vision are those things you need to have success in your business. Thank you very much, Bayo, for your analysis. We've come to the end of Enterprise Stories today. Until next week, when we bring another interesting story your way, stay blessed. Join the International Finance Corporation, an enterprise development center of the Pan-African University, in celebrating 10 years of SME Toolkit in Nigeria. We will be celebrating with partners from over 40 countries on the 10th of April 2013. For registration and more information, please visit nigeria.smetoolkit.org. For questions and comments, please email edc@pau.edu.ng or log on to Enterprise Stories on nigeria.smetoolkit.org for useful resources and articles to help grow your business.